Hi there! Today I'm gonna show you a thrift haul from eBay. The lot cost me €10 plus shipping, which was about €7, so in total €70 for everything, which is an okay price, not a super great one, and you will see why, but I've seen the lot, I was interested, especially for exactly one hat, but you will see that. Right after opening up the box, you can already see the two biggest pieces in the lot. First is this Barbie car, and you can already see that the mirror, which is on top for the moment, is chewed on very badly. Of course, this was not presented in the picture, but I think I will talk about this lot in the end of the video a little bit more, and I was not surprised by this. But the rest of the car is in fairly good condition. It is pretty dirty. You cannot really see it on camera, but it was pretty dirty. The thing is, I did not throw everything away. I just clipped off the two mirrors and gave it to my best friend's daughter. She's only 3 years old and she loved this car. She uses it for the garden. It is more or less an underwater car now, but hey, why not? But in general, of course, this is a nice car. I knew from the beginning that I would not keep it because I simply don't collect Barbie cars, or rarely. I mean, there are exceptions. Sometimes I really like a doll car or a similar size prop, but this one is not really my thing, even though I really like the wheels. Next is this doll trunk. We see a little bit more of it later in the video. It's a nice piece. I don't know, I think it is made in the 80s because of the bee, but I'm not quite sure because I couldn't find out a lot about it, but you will see it later all cleaned up. The comb is actually a Mattel item or a Barbie item. I think it's just hair chalk. You brush it through your hair or the doll's hair and give it some color, I think. I'm sure the mirror you can see is also part of the set, and because of the sticker, I would say this is also an item that was made around 2004 or 5. We do have some tiny stuff inside that is not made by Mattel, just random items, I would say. The colorful skirt is definitely not made by Mattel, but I think the sweatshirt is, and also the dress, and the diving suit is definitely made by Mattel because it has the Kira logo, so I'm sure this goes to 1996 Ocean Friends Kira, and it is in surprisingly good condition. Here's the first doll. Of course, this is a Generation Girl face mold. I'm not 100% sure that I know who she is, but because of her hair and the overall look of her face, I'm pretty sure that she is one of the budget line Barbies, because inside of the trunk there was also a budget line dress. Not quite sure how it was called back in the days. 2013, 14, around that time. I could be wrong, but I think she is that kind of doll. Next is the doll I bought the whole lot for. She's a Fashion Fever doll from 2005. Her name was something like Styles for You or for Two, I think, because you got the doll and something for yourself to style with. This is not a highly thought after Fashion Fever doll, but I like the Anna or Lara face mold a lot. I don't have a lot of dolls with this face mold, I think 3, with her 4, I guess. But it's getting pretty expensive nowadays, especially here on the European market or German market, and I don't know. I saw her and I thought by myself, oh well, this poor girl just needs a little bit of help. Girl number 3 is a closed-mouth Millie. She's in pretty bad condition. Her hair's cut, she's very wonky, and overall in bad shape. I did not spend time on her, I just washed her and gave her away. But the cardigan is nice, that's a piece I kept. Doll number 4 is also a Barbie with the Generation face mold, but she's also not on her original body, but we'll talk about it a bit later in the video. Next we do have this little baby car seat. It was part of the Happy Family car, a V70 Volvo, and as far as I know there were 2 color options. Not sure which color was released first. One of them was, or I guess both of them were in the early 2000s, and this seat here in the light blue color would go to the purple or lavender colored one. I have to say, I do not really collect these tiny babies, but maybe it's tempting to get one of the Zuro silicone babies. I never got one. They are also completely sold out, but who knows, maybe they come back in stock at some time. And I have to say, this piece here has a totally different quality than the pieces Mattel does nowadays. It's solid, a very stable piece of plastic. The whole concept of the item is nice. Now, 20 years later, everything looks a little bit different. The baby is not made by Mattel. This is Steffi Love. I don't like this doll. I don't like anything from Steffi Love. I have to say, a few pieces of furniture and accessories are not too bad, but I could talk about this for hours, so I won't even start it. This little basket is the last piece of the haul. Not sure who made it. I think it does not have any markings. Maybe it's one of the bigger Polly Pocket items. I don't know. Besides the 3 Barbies, I don't count the Millie with closed mouth. I have kept the trunk, some tiny items, and the rest I just have cleaned and gave it away. And here you have a look on the dolls without their clothes. The first poor thing was originally part of a playset back in 1999. It's a pretty iconic one. It's the one with the walking Barbie and her baby sister Chrissy. Therefore you can see she's not on her original body because the real body she could walk with. Also the body she has here did have a rough time, I would say. Maybe someone tried to cut off the neck. I don't know, it looks horrible. Next you can see the Fashion Fever doll a little bit more up close. She does have some missing plugs and also she has some in the bag that are not completely filled. But her face is still in very nice condition. She's a very pretty doll. No wonkiness, no missing colors, so that's fine for me. She also had chewed on fingers, which is good for me because I do not have a second thought about giving her a new body. Not sure if the last girl does have her original body or something different, because I don't know when Mattel stopped to use bend and snap knees. This girl still has them, so I'm not quite sure if she does have her original body. At that point, I was planning to keep her on that body and just give new bodies to the other ones. Therefore, I had to clean them, and this is the first time I've been showing things like that on camera, and so far I have really no plan how to do it really right, because I only have this pretty unstable tripod which works very fine for normal videos, but with videos with water I'm a bit concerned, so please bear with me. I hope you still have fun with the footage, but this is not how I regular doing it, but this is for you guys. Anyway, for the first wash I usually use water and vinegar, just plain white vinegar you would use for your kitchen. It simply helps to clean the dolls and disinfect everything, so I simply like to use it. I let the dolls sit in for a few hours. After that I just gave them a good wash with some dish soap and just let them dry. But after this first cleaning I realized that the doll that still had a body is a glue head. I was not quite sure when I inspected the dolls, but after her first wash I was 100% sure that this girl has glue seepage. I wasn't sure in the beginning. I thought it might be just a bit greasy, just something inside of the hair, because it is Kanekalon, therefore it should be more on the dry side. But it is a very played with doll, so I was not sure. Maybe there's some hair product left on the doll, but no, I'm pretty sure this is glue seepage, or I'm 100% sure that it is glue seepage, because I took off the head later, but for now she only gets the first step of treatment I usually do on dolls with glue seepage. Of course you could use baby powder, but I simply used some dry shampoo spray. I just sprayed it on and worked it in a bit. The second girl is way cleaner after her first wash, and she had a little problem with her parting line. The hair is not thinned out, it is simply wefted into the parting line wrongly. It's simply not the way it should be, and therefore she has a blank spot on her head, so I decided to unravel the mess and give her a better look. I used a needle to get the hair in small portions. It took me a while, but it was worth it. The third girl is pretty much thinly rooted because she has these braided pigtails. And I was so surprised when I discovered these little pearls on each side. Can you see them in the video? Originally, this girl has 2 streaks of hair in front of her face. She does not have a fringe or something, just 2 streaks, one on the right and one on the left. And these were secured not only by thread, but also by these little tiny pearls. That is impressive. I don't know, nowadays you could never. Then this could not have done a machine back then. This was actually a person who took the little pieces of hair, secured them with thread and the pearl, and for today this would be unthinkable. Also, a neck hole is very wide. I guess maybe because her original body also had a neck break and she was pushed down, or maybe because of the original mechanism, I'm just not sure. But I just wanted to get out these threads and the pearls because I cannot use them. It was pretty tricky, to be honest, and you can see that, but in the end I was successful. Now again, the girl with the glue seepage. I combed out the rest of the dry shampoo, and then I was sure I want to take the head off and give her a more intense treatment. We don't have something like Goo Gone here. Of course we do have OxyClean, but I use my own method now for quite some years, and I was always successful, and therefore I go the lazy way. I just took a tiny glass, filled it up with vinegar, yes, again, white vinegar, put in the doll head, leave it in for at least 7 to 10 days, and then just wash it out, and usually all the stickiness is gone. In some really heavy cases, I have to repeat the procedure, but with this head, it is not so much, so I left it in for a few days and everything is okay. I usually just don't let the face soak into vinegar, but honestly I don't think that would cause a problem, because I also use vinegar on my Nendroid faceplates. Sometimes plastic gets sticky over the years, and to me this is the easiest and safest way to get rid of it. And as I said, I use this method for at least 5 or 6 years, and I never had a problem, not on the Barbie dolls, which I do not collect for 6 years, or roughly 6 years, but on the Nendol figurines I have used it quite some time and I never had a problem, not back then and not now, years later, with the parts I used vinegar on. But of course there is a smell, maybe it's not that pleasant, and if you don't like it, of course you do not have to use it, it's just my method. The head of the former walking Barbie had a boiling water treatment for her neck part to get back the correct shape. And as you can see, it worked pretty well. I simply was not brave enough to show it on camera with the boiling water, but at least you can see later in the video that I gave the girls a hot boil to improve their hair. But here I gave them a quick wash with some shampoo to moisturize the hair a bit. After they are dry again, I give them a good comb. And now it's time for a hot boil. I used some sorted out bodies for this process. These are not the bodies they will keep, but for hot boiling they are good enough. This girl has this very unattractive curve on her neck, and I wanted to boil that out, but I was not really successful with it. I have to say, It is way more complicated to do this on camera than I thought it would be, but it's my first time. And I was a little bit worried about the camera, all the steam, not quite sure if that's okay to be honest, and without the camera you won't get videos for quite a while. And yeah, but I don't think it was a problem for the camera, it was just a little bit scary for me. Phone and camera are still working fine, so we are good. The second girl is the only one that has saran, and I was not sure how hot I should make the water because I did not want to damage the hair, and it was in braids for I think a long time. I could not get out all the waves. I do have a hot iron, but I cannot lower down the temperature enough, but maybe I will buy one in the future. You will see the look in the end and you can tell me if it's okay or if it looks horrible. The Kanekalon girls both got some hair oil into their hair just to protect the fiber against too much heat. Kanekalon is simply a little bit sensitive. The water is not hot enough, or my water is not hot enough to melt it, but the hair could still be crinkled because of the heat, and the hair oil just shields the hair a bit against the heat. Here are the girls with her freshly hot-boiled hair, just dried. Even the Fashion Fever girl with the crimped hair kept most of her crimping. I think it looks still good. And of course, the two other girls also look way better than before. Now it's time to choose bodies for them. First is the Fashion Fever girl. She has different options. The green tie-dye pants yoga girl is just a little bit too light. On camera, the BMR midge is a little bit dark, but in reality it is more or less a perfect match. There's not a lot of difference, but the torso in general of the BMR match, or the BMR matches that I had, is a bit darker than the actual arms of the doll. I have to say, I'm not so picky about that. It's not a big thing for me personally, but I do understand if others do have a problem with it. I'm also very picky about the faces. I hate it when they are super wonky. I hate it when they have missing paint. And I don't like pixelation. Some color differences on the body parts are not such a big thing to me. The last Made to Move girl is the teal top Yoga Made to Move from Amazon. On camera, this girl is the perfect match for the head. It definitely looks better than on the Mitch body, but in person, I simply like the match with the Mitch body better. Our next girl needs a lighter skinned body. First we do have Fashionistas 194, the wheelchair Barbie from 2022. This is already the best match, but I will compare the other ones to the head nonetheless. You'll never know. Second girl is the volleyball player. You could get away with the match. The body itself has just a little bit more of a grey and red undertone, but still you could use it. The third girl is just the pink top Yoga Made to Move girl. She is simply a hint too dark for the head. Last girl is even darker than the pink top. This one here is the light blue top. She has a more strong yellow undertone than the pink top yoga doll. But in general, I really like to use this doll for quite a few older Barbie dolls or dolls from the 90s. A lot of them do have exactly that skin tone, maybe a little bit off, but not that much. It may be because the heads are already a little bit yellowed, but it's often quite a good match for older Barbie heads. But for this girl here, the wheelchair Barbie is just the right choice. Of course, also number 3 needs a new body. The Fashionista is an option. It is a bit lighter, but you could definitely do that. But the volleyball player matches better in my opinion. By the way, the volleyball player does have exactly the same skin match as the body of the pink tie-dye yoga girl. But as you already know, I really like the tall bodies, and therefore I'm not mad that this is the best match. But still I will compare the head to the other dolls as well. Did you buy a pink top lately? This pink top Made to Move already came stained to me. And she's not the only one. The other pink top that I show you here is also stained by her black pants. And I'm surprised by that because over the years I bought quite a number of Made to Move Barbies with the black yoga pants, and I never had a doll that was stained by the pants. Regardless which Made to Move Barbie, I'm speaking of everyone that is wearing black pants. None of them ever had stains, but the newer pink tops do have stains. I have 5 in total and all of them do have these stains. So far, none of the other dolls do have stains. For example, the teal top that I have shown you with the Fashion Fever doll is also a recently bought doll and she does not have stains. The one you can see here that is usually wearing the light blue top does also not have stains, but this one I have bought last year and therefore she cannot be one of the newest batches, I think. In general, I would love to know if you had the same experience, if you have Made to Move dolls that are stained by the black pants, or if everything is okay. I do have the feeling that even the touch of the pants is different now, but YouTube is just a visual thing. You cannot touch the items, you can just look at them and the pants do look exactly the same. Here's the trunk, all cleaned up. I could not find out how old it is exactly, and I also do not know what was included in general, and overall it's still a very attractive piece, and therefore it will stay in my collection. One hinge was completely broken, and therefore I just gave the hinges 2 layers of vinyl tape. Definitely not a perfect repair, but better than nothing. On the side of the opening there are still 2 holes. I'm not quite sure what should be inserted. I guess maybe a shoulder strap, maybe something different. I just don't know. A door cannot fit inside, it is definitely smaller. My first thoughts were that this might be something for a skipper door, but I couldn't find a reference for that, so I simply don't know. I do have nearly all the drawers for the left side, maybe even all of them, because I don't know if the top part is a drawer or not. But as you can see, both sides do have a different depth, so there's only one drawer for the right side. These 2 drawers fit perfectly inside of the trunk, so I guess these are also original, but as I said, I just don't know. But of course the girls do not only get new bodies, they also get a styling. And here's our first girl for today. I gave her a cute summer look, this very large summer hat. She also got this very cute summer dress. It's from a budget line doll, back from 2020 I think. I think it was called Flower Fashion or something like that. And I think often the budget lines do have the nicest clothing, and this dress here is no exception. The shoes are also from the budget line that is currently on sale. The dolls are not really my thing, but the clothing and the shoes are awesome. Of course, her hair is not perfect. It's way better than it was, but it is pretty much thinned out, and not sure, maybe she will be a candidate for a reroute, but for now I do not have time for that. All my free time is dedicated to YouTube lately, so she will have to wait. The next girl got some pigtails instead of braids, but she got her streaks back. They are not attached anymore and they simply won't stay in place without any hair product. And of course, when you have an older doll, you often have some flyaways. In that case, I simply use some hairspray. I do not spray it directly on the doll, I just spray a little bit in my hands and then bring it on the hair. I have used this technique on my BGD doll wigs for a lot of years because in the earlier years the gel you could buy left a lot of residues, at least over time, and I didn't like it. And hairspray does not have this bad issue. It is very easy to comb out, and out of my experience it does not leave any residues. She also got this little checkered dress, a pair of tights and these very cute boots. I have used them the 3rd time now for stylings on my channel because shoes for tall girls are rare to find, and these are simply the only boots I have for tall and curvy girls. But this was my last pair, so I will have to hunt for more shoes for curvy girls or tall girls, and I wish Mattel would do more shoes for these. By the way, these shoes are not by Mattel. I have no clue who made them, but they do fit tall and curvy girls and I'm happy with it. This girl has saran hair and I think everything worked very well for her. Her hair is now very shiny and pretty again. She does have some waves from the braids she had for so long, but I think this look suits her pretty well. But still, the last girl is my absolute favorite, and she got a special styling. She does have very wild hair, and she needed a little bit of a wild styling, I thought. I do really love this blazer. I think this is such a good fashion piece. I do not have the BMR doll that originally wears it. It's a petite one, I think with a Claudette face. I didn't like the doll, but I love this jacket. It is so amazing. It looks so 80s, but in a modern way. The top is from AliExpress. It suits her extremely well, I would say, and the pants are again made by this incredible seamstress that sells her items on eBay Germany. It is a very tiny shop. This girl just creates her fashion for her own fun. She's a pure hobbyist. She does not sell her art outside of Germany, and therefore I cannot give you any link for it. The name is Only for Dolls. In case you are from Germany, maybe you would like to look up for this. When it comes to styling, I usually like to show you things that you can style yourself. So mass-produced items are simply better to show because you can buy them yourself and style your doll similar or just inspired by the look you have seen. This is simply not possible when I show you a one-of-a-kind piece. But I also would like to share with you the dolls that I have styled for myself, and I really enjoy that, and I hope you enjoy that too. And in case you do not and you don't want to see things you actually cannot buy, just let me know and I will just leave them out. Finally, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I plan to do some thrift hauls, when you call it like that, in the future. Not quite sure if I would buy a lot like this again, but used dolls that get new bodies is totally my thing. In the beginning of the video I talked about the second-hand market here in Germany, and it is a bit funky. I would just call it like that. I think it sounds nicer. Because we do have lots of questionable listings on eBay or flea market sites. Exactly listings like the one that I got, because people are simply not honest. You can see that this lot is not a childhood played with lot. This is simply a put together lot by a collector that sorted out things that the person did not want to use, and the easiest way is to give them to someone else, and that's a good thing, of course. That's the way you can and should do things. But in my opinion, every listing needs a bit of honesty, and if you're a collector, just list your items and tell the truth about it. Say that the dolls are not on their right bodies, or that some items are chewed on, or whatever's wrong with it. But in fact, many of the items that are listed this way do not sell or sell for a lower price, because most of the collectors here already know that these listings are suspicious, and you simply have to know your stuff. You need to look at the pictures more closely, and of course you can always ask the seller to send more pictures. In this case it was not necessary. I was simply curious about the dolls that I will get, because I have already seen on the pictures that something cannot be right. The car was only shown from one side, of course the good side, not the one with the chewed on mirror. The dolls were shown from more or less far away, especially the Millie with the cut hair. She had this cloth around her head to hide the haircut, but she was not important for me. For me, the only head that was really important was the Anna head or Lara head. But the other two girls are also an unexpected win for me, especially the one with the pigtails. She does have a small head. I'm in search for smaller Barbie heads because I do not have a lot of girls with smaller heads, and I really like her after finishing, because when I opened up the package she simply looked so sad, and with her widened neck and everything, I think she has seen some weird things in her life, and I hope she feels better now, and I like her style. Anyway, why do I talk so much about this issue? I totally knew what I was buying, and it was a lot of fun for me. This video was fun for me. and I really hope it was fun for you too. But I really would like to know, what about your secondhand market? In case you're not from the US, is it similar to our secondhand market? Hard to find things, hard to find nice things for a decent price? Do you also have thrift shops or something like that? Because we do not have things like that. We do have secondhand thrift shops, but they barely have dolls, and here in my region are even no flea markets, or at least a very few ones, and usually when you go there they have tons of toys for toddlers and babies, but rarely dolls. They do have Lego, of course, Playmobil and cars, but I wonder why they don't have dolls. I tried to get a few ones during the last month, but I was not very successful, and I guess buying online is also here my only option. And I simply would love to know if you do have a good secondhand market. Of course, from the US, I know that you do have a good secondhand market. You do have thrift shops, you do have flea markets. I'm pretty sure that there are also some regions that do not have these options, but more or less it is so much fun to watch all the videos with thrift hunting, and sometimes I get really jealous. We don't have a good selection in our shops with the new things, and I personally in my region do not have a good selection of flea markets, or thrift hunts are not possible that way, and sometimes I'm a bit jealous about it. I think I have talked way too much about it, but I hope you don't mind it. Now, I really want to thank you for all your time you invested in this video. Thank you so much. I wish you a great day. Bye.